Today we're going to look at expanding brackets with surds. Some National 4 essential skills are identifying factors and also square numbers if we need to simplify any surds. And some National 5 essential skills are simplifying surds, which you've already learned, and also from our last video, the square root of AB is equal to the square root of A times the square root of B, or vice versa, the square root of A times the square root of B is the square root of AB. Two rules apply when multiplying surds. The first one, which we've learned previously, so if you multiply root A with root B, it's the same as the square root of A times B, and also if you have root A times root A, it's just A. So if we have root 10 multiplied by root 10, the answer is just 10. Root 2 multiplied by root 2 is equal to 2. And the roots essentially disappear. So example 1, root 5 bracket root 2 plus 1. So multiplying their first terms together exactly like you'd expand a bracket any other time. Root 5 multiplied by root 2. And then we'll need to multiply the root 5 with the plus 1 as well to give us root 5. Now we're going to use our first rule here, and root 5 multiplied by root 2 is the same as the square root of 5 times 2, which is 10. And then we have our plus root 5. Now, as the surds are different, we cannot add them together, combine them together, so that is our final answer there. Example 2, root 5 bracket 2 root 6 minus root 7. So this time I need to put the number 2 down first, and I'll have root 5 multiplied by root 6, and then subtract, we'll have root 5 multiplied by the root 7 at the end. So from there, root 5 multiplied by root 6 will be root 30, so I'll have the first term, we've got the number 2 there as well, so it's 2 root 30, and root 5 multiplied by root 7 is minus root 35. And again, that's our final solution. Example 3, root 3 bracket 2 root 6 minus root 11. So the first term there, I'm going to go straight to an answer of 2 root 18, and the root 18 comes from root 3 multiplied by root 6 to get root 18. And then our back term is going to be minus root 33 because 3 11s are 33. Now in this example here, root 18 can be simplified, or root 33 cannot, but a root 18 can. The biggest square number that will go into 18 is 9. So 9 2s are 18. So what I'm going to do in the next line here is I'm going to rewrite our root 18 as root 9 multiplied by root 2. And we'll still have our minus root 33 at the back. And then the square root of 9 is 3. Now that number 3 can get multiplied with the 2 at the front, so the answer is 6 root 2 and minus 33, root 33 at the end there. Now let's look at an example with double brackets. So example 4, root 5 plus 2 multiplied by root 5 minus 1. Now there's a lot of different strategies for expanding brackets. I'm going to look at both Crab's Claws and also the box or grid method. So let's look at Crab's Claws first of all. Root 5 multiplied by our back bracket, so root 5 multiplied by root 5. And then we have to multiply our root 5 with our minus 1 to give us minus root 5. Then plus 2 times root 5 is 2 root 5, and 2 multiplied by our negative 1 is negative 2. Now the first term there, if we've got root 5 times root 5 is the same root, so we'll just end up with an answer of 5. The negative root 5 plus 2 root 5 in the middle will simplify to just plus 1 root 5, and we have the minus 2 at the end. And then what we can do is combine our 5 with our minus 2 to give a final answer of 3 plus root 5. Now looking at the box method, we can write the first bracket on the top of the box, second bracket down the side, and then the top left will be root 5 times root 5, which we know is 5. The top right, 2 times root 5 is 2 root 5. Bottom left, root 5 multiplied by negative 1 is negative root 5. And the last box, 2 times minus 1 is negative 2. Now we'll need to combine those middle terms together, the root 5s. So the plus 2 root 5 take away a root 5, we know is 1 root 5. And then final step would be combining your 5 and your minus 2 to give 3 plus root 5. And here we can clearly see from Crab's clause the answer is 3 plus root 5, but also the box method is 3 plus root 5. Example 5. 4 root 3 plus 6 multiplied by 2 root 3 minus 1. So first of all, using Crab's clause, 4 root 3 multiplied by 2 root 3, well 4 2s are 8, and root 3 times root 3 is 3. Next, 4 root 3 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 4 root 3. Now we need to multiply our plus 6 with the back bracket. 6 multiplied by 2 root 3 is 12 root 3, and 6 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 6. Next, 8 3s are 24, and negative 4 root 3 plus 12 root 3 is 8 root 3 with our minus 6 at the end. And the very last line, we'll just combine our 24, subtract 6, which is 18 plus 8 root 3. Now let's look at our box method as well. So we'll write our first bracket along the top and our second bracket down the side there. So 4 root 3 times 2 root 3, well 4 2s are 8. Root 3 times root 3 is 3, and 3 8s are 24. 6 times 2 root 3 is 12 root 3. 4 root 3 multiplied by negative 1, negative 4 root 3, and 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Now here we can combine the numerical terms, so 24 take away 6, 18, and 12 root 3 take away 4 root 3 is 8 root 3. So we can clearly see that our answers are exactly the same no matter which strategy we use. Remember just to show all of your working and fully simplify your answers. Now try these examples for yourself. Please pause the video. And the solutions: 2 root 22 minus 4 root 11, 44 plus 7 root 7. Please see your class teacher if you didn't manage to get these solutions. So what have we learned today? Today we've looked at expanding brackets with surds using the rules that if we multiply root a with root b, it's the same as the square root of a times b, and also root a times root a leaves us with an answer of a. And we will be learning to ensure we simplify our answers and collect our like terms.